Hello friends, welcome in, welcome back if you're sticking around from the Minecraft stream. Here we are with the final Elden Ring stream of 2024. The potentially final stream of our current weapon, depending on how well we do, because, I don't know, sometimes these playthroughs turn out to be quite quick. So we're going to get right into it. We are on the Bastard Sword, which I have come to a compromise with the Twitch stream title. This is now the Bast Sword. If anybody asks, it's a reference to the Egyptian goddess. But either way, Jon Snow, also a reference to the Egyptian goddess, is currently level 106, having done a bit of level farming here at Morgott Palace. We are probably going to go and activate Godric's Great Rune, just so we have something on the board. But then we're going to go and fight Radahn. So we're going to get right into it here, no messing around. Cat Goddess Sword, yes, that's the idea. Cat Goddess's Stars will be up next also. So I realized that I only have the Radagon Saw Seal Talisman and the Gold Scarab Talisman. Now we have a third one, but I don't think we'll be using Bolt Drake for much. The only thing I need to be aware of is how we're going to be attacking with this weapon. Like, we have the option to use it two-handed, but the two-handed sword talisman is in the DLC, and we won't be going there. So I think we'll probably end up going and getting, like, the claw talisman, the axe talisman, anything that's going to help with my general melee weapon playstyle, which is to jump attack and heavy attack stuff for a lot of this. As you can see, I'm a bit more comfortable with this as a melee weapon than I was with the last time we did this little jog. Only a little bit, though. Let's see if we can get him shot. Oh, just about. We took a hit in the process, but I have pretty high physical resistance, and for whatever reason, this golem doesn't do a ton of damage with the arrows. So let's see how we get on. Happy New Year in advance, everybody. Yes, I'm sure several people will be ringing in the new year around the time this stream is happening. We had a couple of Australians in the Minecraft chat who are probably in bed by now if they're sensible, but can't rely on anybody to be sensible around New Year anyway. And yes, hope you're all having a wonderful end to 2024 or a great start to 2025. We're going to be going the distance with the Bastard Sword today, I expect. But we only just about got to Morgott Palace without accomplishing too many of the other objectives along the way. So after the Radahn fight, which we got a +8 sword right now, I think we'll be okay. But we could go and do sealed tunnels so we can get up to +12 for the Radahn fight. And then after that, we'll go and fight some of the Falling Star beasts, who should all be... I mean, we're doing physical damage. It'll be, like, reasonably okay. I guess this thing does, like, a thrust attack, because it does say pierce damage along with standard damage, so the Spear Talisman could help us in some situations. Really depends, like, what kind of attack we're doing, like what counts as a piercing attack from this moveset. I imagine there's not much. We could potentially capitalize on bleed once we up our arcane a little bit more by using Bloody Slash and having Lord of Blood's Exaltation, but that requires us going into the sewers in Lanedale, which I'm not super keen on doing if we don't have a DLC weapon and the somber stuff and all of the little synergies that come with getting hold of all of that. But a Great Rune should help us. It'll boost our arcane just a little bit without us having to level it. And at this point, I think I'm relatively confident that we can get through the next few stages of the game without dying and losing the influence of our Great Rune, as long as I don't do something silly like jump off a cliff. The other things I want to do is go to the Erdtree, because that way we can get hold of some good armor for the Jon Snow cosplay. And also we need to do the Sage's Cave. We need to do the Sage's Cave here on Altus. But first I think we're going to run in get the extra bell bearing from the sealed tunnel, grab some of the extra golden seeds and stuff while we're here. We can probably go to get the last 2 sacred tears from here on Altus Plateau as well. It's not a stabby sword, it's more of a swingy sword, and I'm kind of surprised that it's got pierce damage anywhere in its moveset, but who knows? Maybe there's something in there I'm just not seeing. Gonna ride to the left here to try and avoid this rune bear if we can, because I have recently been able to sneak past it in a way that feels quite satisfying. Can get all the way up to here. Ignore the fact that there's a cave here. Dodge behind all of the guards. Ignore the tree sentinels also. Who is Egret in this game? It's probably Roderica. Or if we're looking for red-haired characters, Rani used to be a red-haired character. There's also Melania, but we won't see her. I mean, probably Radagon. I think that's as close as we're going to get, really. Okay, how many golden seeds do we have left? 1. Okay, cool. So we can get another upgrade if we go up the stairs here. We'll warp back down after that. Radagon definitely a fiery redhead, yes. If anybody has any other candidates, then do let me know. It's definitely not going to be Latenna, because she's albinoric and as a result fairly, I don't know, fairly fair-haired. Let's go on up here and get the grace here, because then we can also go outside the wall for the other golden seed and the next sacred tier. And then we'll walk back and do sealed tunnel after that. Honestly, I'm imagining that with enough experience in this game, we could cut a couple of the sacred tiers out of our little adventure and probably still be fine, since these 2 are sort of out of the way here on Altus. They're not linked to too many of our other objectives unless we've got a specific weapon we want to get from over here. But then again, I just like having a good enough heal, you know? In terms of strength upgrades, we're doing pretty well. The sword is not doing a ton of damage, but that's because it's not fully upgraded at this point. We'll also be getting a ton of extra runes, considering I still have the gold scarab equipped, so I reckon we'll manage pretty well here. Ooh, new hat for John. Thanks for the lurk, Obu. I like the fact that that was the emote that got the lurk message and not you. It's pretty funny. But this sword is feeling quite comfortable, I think. I think the blood infusion we're going to have to swap out for something like heavy, because I put so much into strength already. Maybe we'll do a quick respec before we go in to fight Radagon and Elden Beast, so that we can get the most out of our stats without having to worry about Arcane, which we'll have invested in at some stage for extra bleed. Like, I've already put some points into Arcane, not much, but some. Really don't want spoilers for the game, but I have to watch this. Hey, no worries. I'll try and keep the spoilers light, but we will be fighting some major bosses, so just bear that in mind. I think, honestly, unless I'm talking a lot about the lore, a lot of this stuff is going to be over so quickly that you won't really have time to commit it to memory. At least if I'm doing my job and I'm good at the game. But this is one of those games where you can go through and complete objectives without really knowing what's going on. And so spoilers are really just for, like, enemy locations and boss fights and maybe occasional dialogue that I won't skip, because I like to use the cutscenes as thumbnails for the VODs. But honestly, yeah, having seen a couple of people play through games like Dark Souls, I had absolutely no idea where I was going in my first Dark Souls playthrough. So I think genuinely this is one of those games where even if you've seen somebody play it, you don't have the full context for everything until you're actually playing it yourself. And you can explore at your leisure. But I agree with the folks in the chat, this is a phenomenal game to play for the first time, so if you want to dip out, I completely understand. Want it badly, but I'm not getting it unless the game DLC is on sale. I think Elden Ring is on sale in the Steam winter sale, but it depends if you're playing on like console or whatever. And I don't think it's going to be like very cheap, so I also don't know about the DLC. 2025 is going to bring us Elden Ring Night Rain, which is going to be the up to 3 players co-op Elden Ring spin-off, and I am really looking forward to that. It's on sale for the console, but the DLC isn't. I don't want to buy one without the other. That's fair. I bought this game probably a few months after release, and obviously bought the DLC when the DLC came out, but I ended up waiting a long time for the DLC. Get back. Almost took fatal fall damage. Almost. Just going to come down here for a couple of extra smithing stones, that's all. A couple of extra smithing stones and maybe some extra runes from the Vulgar Militia. The Great Sword running R2 is one of my favorite attacks in the game. Just the spin feels so hefty. Absolutely love that. We get a free rune arc from this. And we're going to run back here just to make sure we don't get mashed. Grab that and then run away. Up the ladder we go, and hopefully don't get hit. Yes, good, okay. Wonderful. No harm, no foul. Now we can leave. Literally set your controller down and died to a creeper in your hardcore world because you went to sleep and a creeper blew you up since your bed was outside. Oh no. Didn't even have your starter base yet? Well, at least there's that. At least you haven't invested a ton of time and energy into that world. I think that's the worst. If you're just getting going, then at least you can reset, right? Could even use the same seed. Oh, well, since we're here, might as well grab that. Are there any more smithing stones over here? Not really. This is like cracked crystals and stuff in here, right? Happy New Year from the Philippines! Vestitia! Happy New Year to you. Hopefully I pronounced your name right. Did you just finish your mine all the way down to diamond level, so I was hurt about all the mining and stair placement? Yeah, no, I feel you. It's never fun losing a world, especially in hardcore. Never fun getting blown up. But hopefully you'll have fun getting back to that point. We currently need about 66,000 runes to level up, I think. But what I'm mostly after is smithing stones so that I can level up the sword, because that's going to deal a great deal more damage with just a little extra. Oh, we need to talk to Nefeli as well.
I'm glad to see I found it in God. You were the one to make good use of it. I don't intend. I wonder if he's in his study. If you haven't, all father is, I'm sure, talking. I'll see you again.
Cool. We got that done. We're going to do all the Albinauric village stuff, so we might as well. Right, offer bell bearing 1 and bell bearing 2. So now we can buy these. What do we need right now? I think we just need 6 of those. And then 12 of these. Great. So Hugh should be able to upgrade our sword fully now. Or at least to plus 12. And then the Radahn fight should be straightforward. Take the risky route of digging down? Yeah. In an early stage of a world especially, it's like... Oh, need a little bit more money. Fortunately, we have plenty of runes to spare. Oh wait, that's ashes. There we go, great. So plus 12. Feeling pretty comfortable at that stage. But we have enough for a couple of... We have a plus 13 on the cards. I thought we were out of smithing stones, but it turns out we were just low on runes. What's up, King Claw Blazer? Welcome in. We are ringing in the new year by smashing some bosses with great swords. And, yeah, probably going to go and fight a big boss lad in a second. What else, if anything, do I need to do? We'll get a couple of better talismans, potentially. But then, I don't know, we can get some better runes. And the Sword Seal is doing a decent amount to buff our attack. Maybe we'll go get Sage's Cave done now so that we can be a little bit better dressed for the Radahn fight. Either way, we need to get over here. Down from Erdtree Gazing Hill, which we haven't been to yet, I don't think. Ever try the Night Rider's Glaive? I have not yet. I will get to it eventually if this challenge continues. We started this in June. We've got close to 20 weapons under our belt already, so I'm hopeful that if we continue this, especially at the speed we're going now, considering that we spent like over a month, I think, on astrologer's stuff, we should be fine. Yeah, the Knight Rider's glaive, like Michael Knight. David Hasselhoff's glaive. Definitely hassle a few enemies. Okay, we'll need to take it a little steady down here. That's going to kill me. Also. Torrent as kit would be fun. I'm sure there are mods. Oh, we got a checkpoint. Huh, interesting. Probably just so we can see land sacks appear. Rather, ignore land sacks appear. I'm just going to get my runes out on principle. We didn't have that many, but... There's land sacks, by the way. Ignore me! Like all dragons in the game, this is a dragon we run away from. Also, what was that I said earlier about not dying in stupid ways because of the Great Rune? I promise I still won't do it. Now this should be the Sage's Cave. Yeah. Fight the dragon? No. You're not the boss of me. Also, I find those dragons kind of miserable to fight if you don't have ranged attacks, which, considering my current loadout, I am not specializing in. There's a few hidden walls in this one. And I'm not sure if it's in this room, but it's in one of the hidden rooms along this passage. Not there. Here. Oh, yikes. There's lads down here. Lads, I tell you. Fortunately, these are lads easily dispatched with the sword we have. And I think in one of these chests... 5 silver pickled fowl feet. Nice. We have a black hood. Candle tree wooden shield. Interesting. And a butterfly. Well, it's not that one. Oh, ow. Alright, you. Blimey, calm down. Skeleton with infinite poise. Is it that one? It might be this one. You want to share your opinion, that being you think great runes aren't that useful? Sounds like a skill issue to me. No, I think great runes, they're useful for a certain amount of things, but so many of the effects they give you can be countered by you just leveling more, especially with Godric's. Like, Godric's is like, it's 40 levels worth of points, and you don't get to decide where they go. So there are certain circumstances in which, yeah, I can see them not being that useful, but I think it's in this chest, you know. Dang it, it's not. Where is the... Is it this one? This chest... This cave is full of chests, and none of them have the thing that I want. Have I got into parrying? No. The joke answer to this is I refuse to get into parrying. The real answer is that I have not found the character build that has required it of me. There we go. It's worse, but it's much more Jon Snow. Let's at least see what's in the other chest. Come on, don't leave another chest there. Okay, skeleton mask I'm not that keen on, but we've taken the black now. We'll get the full outfit when we go to the snowfields and get the Knight's Cavalry set. But honestly, just this ain't bad. Now we're a crow. You know, honestly, I've... My main problem with parrying in general as an approach is that it involves even more memorization of how bosses work. Because there are some attacks that you just won't be able to parry, and there are some that you are. And I feel like you've just got to figure that out on the fly by dying to bosses a lot. By parrying stuff that you can't parry, and then finding out. And that feels tedious to me at this point, because I know the game well enough as a roll to evade kind of game. But yeah, that's where I'm at with it. That's probably not the best justification, but it's where I am. Beat Dark Souls 3 for the first time, not even knowing the parry button. Yeah, fair. Like, I think all of these games... You know what, I'm not going to do this because I've got a great rune active. We'll do the other option where we actually go to Redmane. Yeah, fighting stuff by parrying is a gameplay style that you learn if you sword and board your way through the game. And I think that approach lends itself much better to first-time playthroughs. But in first-time playthroughs, you're not necessarily going to be working out parry timing unless you're really into that style of gameplay. Like, I can parry a couple of bosses, but the more forgiving parry timings on things like the buckler and carry and retaliation and the stuff that I don't necessarily go for all that much. At least by going this way we get another golden seed, so we also get the map of South Caelid, so let's do that. Merchant. It is one of those weird situations where, like, I could get into parrying, but I don't see the need because I can do more damage two-handed with my sword, and I know how to roll through most of the attacks. Obviously, there are some bosses where it helps, like Radagon or Malenia or whoever, but also the problem with that is that that's the level of boss where you can't stagger them with just one parry, either. Even guard counters, I kind of find, like, so-so as a playstyle. Okay, let's fight Radahn. After half an hour of busy work, it's time to fight the boy. Here's Blythe and Alexander, neither of whom we've met. Neither of whom we're going to.
Welcome! The stars have aligned! The festival is... The festival...
Right, gonna skip Radahn's cutscene, because we've seen this all before. We're gonna fight him at the appropriate time of day. Morgott is the boss that you use to practice on when it comes to parrying. The thing is, Morgott has an approach that you don't see as often with other bosses. Like, his attacks are twice as delayed as everybody else's, and so I don't know if he really counts as good parrying practice. I suppose it helps for the general idea of parrying, which is, like, attack when stuff is on the downward swing, not, like, anticipating attacks, you know? Alright, that should be enough. Yeah, cool. Summon the boys! Oh, just missed the stagger. No worries. There we go. That should be it. clean fight. Obviously, we're way over leveled, but I appreciate things going smoothly. Casual greeting as Radahn charges at you is very good. We could get Shard of Alexander just so Bloody Slash does more damage on this playthrough, so maybe it's worth chatting to Alexander here and then meeting him on Gelmir, but yeah, talisman-wise, we need to start rocking something different, I think, at this stage.
One hit after that, and as such, as luck. If I and you know, who could expect? Just you wait.
All right, cool. Yeah, we got our bonus runes from having the gold scarabs, so we'll put another point into Arcane, which, as it increases, is going to increase the blood loss build-up of the Bastard Sword, so that's great. I think at this point, I might as well remove the shield. I like seeing more of the cloak, and we're not going to use the shield much anyway, so having it in the offhand is a bit of a mislead. So with that taken care of, we're going to go and use a bleed weapon on some enemies that can't bleed, or we're going to go just straight into Lanedale. I think I might go straight to Lanedale instead of fighting the Falling Star Beasts, so we'll just go for mountaintops to get the bell bearing. I guess we'll go here just to get the last sacred tear from the Marika Church here. Used to only play mage builds until you learned how to parry, then you started playing melee characters and just always have a shield that has carry and retaliation. That's cool. It's a useful spell. You kind of moongrom it up for a bit. Okay, and if I stay about here, we should be able to, yeah, warp away. Great. Okay, let's go to Lanedale. As long as we don't have too much trouble with Morgott, we should be okay. But, you know, in before we start having trouble with Morgott. Thing is, Claw Talisman is going to help us with jump attacks. I don't know how often we're getting in charged heavies for, like, the Axe Talisman to be useful. Mercy, thanks so much for the 2 years. Late but here, always welcome. Thank you so much for the resub. Appreciate it. What's my way of dodging waterfowl? Having a light roll, and then either running away from the first part of it, or dodge forward twice and then back twice. It's typically the way I do it, but the timing is weird. Also, shout out to that arrow sticking directly in midair. Let's see how we do against this lad. Well, not a great start. Drink after that one. Nice. Can't believe that hit me. Of all things. Okay. Okay, this one he follows up. Yeah, great. Oh, didn't think that was going to hit me, but I dodged at slightly the wrong time. Alright, cool. Yeah, not too bad. I think we'll be okay in Lanedale. Pizza in the oven. Wish I literally had to go get stuff to be able to make food. Gonna do some parry practice, aka starting a new game as a bandit and going for Morgott early. Fair play. Bandit's the class to do it with. You've got a buckler and a dagger. You're sort of meant to crit stuff. So with the blessing of the Erdtree, we have slightly better rune acquisition. And then it's gone again. I think, honestly, Claw Talisman would be good, because we're going for a few jump attacks here. Sort of feeling it out. We've also got the Raptor Cape, which, if I don't take it off, strengthens jump attacks. So if we go for, like, full jump attack with the Claw Talisman, I think we'll actually be golden. Plain cheese pizza or pizza with peppers. Honestly, pepperoni is like a baseline for me. I feel like I so rarely just have a cheese pizza. We'll get this dialogue with Melna out of the way, and then go back to Stormvale for the claw.
For bringing here, and thus I shall to farewell. I shall leave. I wish you luck. I have no.
Peace. Now then. Lift side chamber is probably the closest. And then we'll go through the courtyard for the Rampart Tower Grace. Ignore this guy. Here I am back at Winterfell. Dialogue being like, I have, you have, I shall, yeah. Highland Axe as well. Everyone in Stormvale being like, who's this? I'm like, ignore me. You know my dad, Ned Stark? We're so overleveled for Stormvale, though. It's kind of ridiculous. If we actually fight stuff, we'll probably clatter it, so... Let's test this theory. Well, that's one down. Yeah, we're good. We'll be fine. That amount of damage is lethal when you're just starting out. That's like more than half your health bar. And now it's just like, trivial. How far we have come. Honestly, just weird about eating in general. Elite meat, just not certain kinds. Yeah. And that's understandable. Like, everyone's got their preferences and stuff. We'll rest here just to de-aggro the birds, because the birds can get really annoying. They can probably also get into this room, but fortunately they didn't. And then the Claw Talisman is just over here. But that's descending on this like a mighty bird. I've never really worn the Raptors feather set all that much. I think it looks pretty cool. I don't think we can get a whole lot else that enhances jump attacks beyond this talisman. I was going to see if Bloody Slash was a charged skill, but it is not, so like Godfrey icon and stuff isn't really worth going for. Love the lighting in this level. Oh yeah, I mean, this whole game is so atmospheric to begin with, but yeah, Stormveil by night is a fun one. So we'll actually swap that for Radagon's Source Seal, just so we're not taking the extra hit to damage, even though it's giving us a little bit of extra health. I think that's compensated for by Godric's runes, so that feels better to me. And maybe we'll come up with something that can replace the Gold Scarab. But we're about to get another talisman slot anyway, so I mean... I think I used to do a lot more planning for these builds, whereas now I feel like I know what works enough that I can kind of freestyle it for weapons like this. It's not heavily optimized, but it no longer needs to be. So I feel happy about that. If anything, we could even go for more like defensive talismans and stuff, you know? Could go and get the Dragon Crest Great Shield from the like Bestial Sanctum area. Triblade, Happy New Year to you. Hope you had a great start to 2025 if you're already celebrating. And a great end to 2024 in general. Let's fight the big tree guy. I like fighting the big tree guy occasionally. He's like, oh, you have jump attacks. I too have jump attacks. Yeah, no using that one on me. Ha-cha! Oh. I got kind of screwed up mid-animation there because it collided with the boss model in a really weird way. Not bad, though. Am I playing with a controller? Yes. Yeah, I typically play games like this with a controller. Feels like more like a console game to me. More arcadey feeling. Are the kaiju here yet? Not yet. It's only a matter of time, though. That was a late roll. I'm surprised I survived that one. I think, honestly, we might go into the last stretch of this with Erdtree's Favor or something. Just to get a little bit of extra like health and stamina and everything. I think maybe we'll do that. Yeah, this game I think is functional with a keyboard. I know a couple of streamers who've played it with a keyboard, but I definitely go controller for stuff like this, in general. If it's a game like Diablo that has like a clickable interface and a hotbar and everything, that's the kind of stuff I would probably play keyboard and mouse, but I grew up playing action games with a controller, so it only feels natural this way. No idea how it gave me the crit on that guy. I was definitely not behind him, but you know. If you don't have a controller, is it less recommended? I mean, it's really up to you. Like, if you've played games like this with a controller before and it felt comfortable, then that's cool. But, yeah, I know Flint X101, who's been playing this for the first time with a keyboard and mouse, got a recommendation to rebind a lot of the keys. So I think maybe there's some keybinds that people have found work out better than the defaults. but I couldn't tell you what those are because I've never tried it myself. Guardian Sword Spear. A couple of them, actually. You play with a keyboard and mouse, you still recommend it? I mean, it's still one of the best games. So I think, honestly, like, if control surfaces are an issue, then that's one thing. But I think the game itself is still just worth playing in general, by whatever means you can. Controller buttons are pretty good. My only complaint is that lock on and reset camera are bound to the same button. Yeah. But I think the philosophy with all the Souls games is like, if you're locking on, then the camera doesn't need to be doing anything else, right? Oh, so glad we got the stagger for that one. And a very forgiving hitbox for letting me get around him. Textbook. I like how his death animation is the animation he uses to do the big shockwave stomp in the main fight. It's only part 2 of this run. Oh yeah, we're going all the way to Maliketh today, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to start putting points into strength again since I dropped a handful of points on the losing the Source Seal. In fact, we have a couple of remembrances we can crush here, so let me just do a big level up before Morgott. Yeah, basically 200k we're good. We get 3 levels out of that. Oh, 2. Okay, fair enough. Well, we're getting a point each from Strength, a point each from Dex, and a point each from Arcane. But Strength gets us additional physical, so we'll get that up to 55. 60 with the Great Rune as well, so that feels reasonable to me. And we'll see how we do against the Veiled Monarch. What was the last weapon? What will the next one be? The last one was the Barbed Staff Spear, which is from the DLC. And the next one will be Bastard Stars, which is a remembrance weapon from the Astel fight. So we have to get pretty deep into Rani's quest for that. I see the Black Knife Assassin fight here as a reminder that, oh yeah, enemies can be really maneuverable in this game. Bit of a warm-up for the next fight. Inspired me to try a similar challenge since I've beaten this game before, challenging myself to beat the game with every weapon type since my first 4 characters all use basically the same weapons. Nice! That's probably what this challenge would be if I was a reasonable human being. But since I am not, well, here we are. Like, my whole conceit for this challenge is, like, let's try a few different playstyles, not like, let's be fully masochistic about this, but, you know. Graceless, tarnished, etc. Let's go. Nice. Was hoping for a stagger there. Glad we got one. Need to heal after we do this. But that's about half his health bar gone, so phase transition. Oh no, we get daggers first, of course. Yeah, okay, cool. Once he does this, we get in, deal a couple more jumping heavies. Get another stagger in a second. There we go.
Thy part in this shall not be forgiven.
Alright, cool, good fight. I like when you can finish a fight while their dialogue is still going on. That's my favorite kind of fight. Once I knew how many jumping heavies it took to stagger him, it was just a matter of doing it again. Reasonable like a tier 1 netherite beacon, yeah. Yeah, about that. Time for then and guide you.
Hello. Allow me. You are unprevented. The thorns, a husk, the only way, and become my purpose. So I'd like to the flame then and guide you.
Alright, let's go. Anything else we want to do here? No, I think we're just headed for mountaintops. We probably need to spend some of these runes. Head for mountaintops, get the... Yeah, that's maybe looking reasonable. Although we're still getting physical defense from strength. I think maybe we go with that. Yeah, we're getting 90 blood loss from that weapon now. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think we go for mountaintops. We get the bell bearing for the next 2 upgrades. And then we just beeline for Fire Giant and we go from there. And I think we just jumping heavy all the way at this point. Because jumping heavies obviously do a lot of poise damage as well. So if we're doing a lot of them, then we're getting more chances for crit, which means higher bleed build-up. Bloody Slash isn't that great as a skill, because it feels like you're doing a charged heavy anyway, but it's not doing nearly as much poise damage. I imagine the bleed build-up is good, and it has slight range to it that a regular Slash would not, but I don't think we're going to have too many more opportunities to take advantage of that. Fire Giant should be fun considering this is a bleed weapon. What weapon am I most looking forward to using? There's a few coming up that are really fun. I think we're past what I was considering the boring weapons in the B range, which was the Banished Knight's Greatsword and Halberd. I was looking forward to Barbed Staff Spear, and it wasn't my favorite because it did holy damage. So I think I'm least looking forward to the ones that deal holy damage. No Misbegotten on the elevator. But then... let's take a quick look through what's next in the weapon comparison tables whilst I run to the next objective. So we have... I think honestly the flail being the next one is kind of interesting. I've never really used flails all that much. I'm looking forward to the Beast Claw, which is very early in Shadow of the Erdtree. And then, honestly, like, more of the DLC weapons I think I'm looking forward to, primarily, because they were added to the DLC because they would be fun, whereas I feel like a lot of the weapons in the base game are mostly just there to kind of pad things out and provide flavor. I think there's only, like, the Mesmer Soldier weapons that really feel like they are there just to be a lore drop and occasional weapon drop in the DLC, but a lot of the other DLC weapons are like, we wanted a new playstyle, so we decided to make Like, the Beast Claw has a whole new moveset. Yeah, you have Dryleaf Wraps or whatever they're called, and Dane's Footwork. Whatever the martial arts weapons are called. Like, really looking forward to both of those. Favorite weapon from the DLC is light greatswords. Yeah, so like Milady and stuff, like, again, represents a whole separate playstyle. All of the stance-based combat and everything, like, that's huge. There aren't really too many of those that feel like they're placeholders. The Cestus and Spiked Cestus are probably my preferred playstyle. Like, I'm doing a dual Cestus Dark Souls 2 run right now. It's my first Dark Souls 2 playthrough. We're not going to use Morgott's items, so we'll break the remembrance and level up before we get to the Dectus Lift. Vixen, thank you for the 70, not the 30. Gosh, what am I talking about? Just lurking, want to wish a happy new year to you and everyone in chat. Best wishes. Hopefully everyone gets to relax a little. Yeah, that's the bit I'm looking forward to. Thank you so much, Vixen. Really appreciate how long you've been supporting the channel at this point. 70 months is wild. Would I stream the other Souls games? I mentioned this earlier in the stream, so I did answer it earlier, but obviously if you weren't in chat, I will say it again. I would prefer, honestly, to play them myself casually before I play them on stream, because my ideal type of stream content is not the bumbling around and dying over and over again. Like, I like having a little bit of understanding of what I'm supposed to be doing, just so the streams don't feel like they are purgatorial, in that I'm just repeating the same thing over and over again and not making good progress. I feel like that's frustrating for me. It's probably frustrating for some of the people in chat. I don't think I would want to get to like an Elden Ring level of understanding of the game before I streamed any of them, but also considering we're going to be streaming Elden Ring for a good long while, it really depends if there's any openings in my schedule that way. But yeah, personally I really enjoyed Dark Souls 1 as just a casual game, but I know enough about that game now that I wouldn't mind playing it on stream if there was a reason to do it. But I think, if anything, Elden Ring just has a lot of hype right now, whereas the Dark Souls series is not going to get a ton of additional attention, so I'm really just doing it for my community instead of finding new people, you know? Try to mitigate any backseat gaming. Yeah, that's the other thing, is like, these are games that it's really nice to figure out at your own pace and discover your preferred playstyle, and that's where it really brushes up against people's tendency to backseat. Just realized we get an extra flask upgrade, so that's 10 red now. Yeah, 1 blue, 10 red. We'll be fine. We're not really using blue, so if anything, I could give myself an extra health flask. Yeah, really not sure what we're going to do about the extra talisman until we get to Farum. But yeah, Dark Souls 2, I've heard a lot of people bounce off. But I've heard Dark Souls 3 is really good, so we'll see how I feel once I get into Dark Souls 3, I guess. But I haven't even got to, like, the first major boss fights of Dark Souls 2 yet. Like, I'm still exploring the first area, doing a little bit of early leveling. I just figured out, I forget where I found it out, maybe through, like a Reddit or something. I found out how, dual wielding works in Dark Souls 2. And it's a good thing I looked it up, because I'd never figured it out on my own. You'd think it'd be as simple as it is in Elden Ring, where you just equip 2 of the same weapons. It is not that simple. Enjoyed all the main Souls games. 2 is much better than the Echo Chamber of Reddit led me to believe. Yeah, so I'm giving it a fair shake. It hasn't clicked with me yet, but like I said, just knowing how dual wielding is supposed to work is helping me. My partner's a big Soulsborne fan. They don't care for Dark Souls 2 as much as 1 or 3, but still think it's good fun. Yeah, I think that's the general consensus. Dark Souls 1 kind of clicked with me right away. It kind of felt like, oh, this is just Elden Ring, but older and more clunky. Dark Souls 2 feels like the player has stayed as clunky as they were in Dark Souls 1, but every other enemy is suddenly on a level where it's closer to Elden Ring enemies. And so they've got better and you haven't. But I don't know how that measures up long term, and I've heard that there's also this adaptability stat that if you level, it gets slightly better at, like, you know, your reactions improving and stuff. Like, it feels a little bit more like the way everyone thinks dexterity works. Where it's like, oh, you can move slightly faster and you roll slightly better, and, like, maybe you get more iframes out of it. People will, like, get adaptability up to, like, 20-something, and then you'll feel like it actually feels like Dark Souls. You play Scholar of the First Sin or the original Dark Souls 2? Scholar of the First Sin is the one that's on Steam, so that's the one I have access to. But yeah, I'm not playing any of these on console, which is why I've missed out on Bloodborne. Which is a shame, because everyone absolutely loves Bloodborne. Like, even people who loved Elden Ring, some of them still say that Bloodborne is better. And I'm like, how? This is what I want to know. And I think it's just the atmosphere, just the setting, and the... what I gather about Bloodborne is that, like, you feel like the boss rather than the enemies. It's like you're the hunter or whatever, so it kind of reverses the relationship that the player feels with their environment in games like Souls and Elden Ring. I have to agree, the best Souls games are either Dark Souls 1 or Bloodborne. See, even having played Dark Souls 1, I loved it. I still think Elden Ring is my favorite thing I've played so far. But then again, I played Sekiro a little bit. I bounced off Sekiro because I didn't have, like, the timing. It's probably another reason why I'm not really into parrying stuff in this game. So I didn't really mess with Sekiro too much. But I might have another go at some stage if it's, like, the last one on the list. You know, I've done all the others up until that point. Never played Elden Ring, but I can imagine how they could top those with just an open-world Souls game. I think, for me, Elden Ring has the amazing sense of discovery that you get from a game like Breath of the Wild, where so much of it is going, hey, can I get to this landmark, or can I do this weird thing? And you just can, and it's great. But it also has the advantage of, like, in other Dark Souls games, if you get to the point where you have trouble with a boss, you don't really have much choice other than to grind on earlier enemies in the area and try and level up a little bit, or just throw yourself at the boss until you figure out the fight and you win. And Elden Ring gives you the third option, which is go somewhere else. Go and find other, like, mini-bosses and areas where you might get better equipment, and everything feels a little bit more free and open. Plus, being able to fast travel places from the get-go is really nice. I know that you can do that in Dark Souls 2, but that was one of the things that I hated about Dark Souls 1, was that you get the ability to fast travel like 2/3 of the way through the game. Because that's a big part of Elden Ring's appeal for me, is being able to, like, skip around places and jump back to somewhere and remember that, oh yeah, you got the key for this, so let's go and find that now, and, like, not having to do the physical backtracking unless you want to. And in the early stages of this, when I was playing it for the first time, I didn't even ride around on the horse that much because I didn't know where I was going and I didn't want to miss anything on the way. So I explored a lot of this game on foot where I could, and only started using the horse once I was familiar with an area and I knew that I was just going to ride through to a specific place. Whereas now I use it all the time because, like, I know exactly where I'm going and I'm trying to just get there the fastest possible time. Well, the fastest reasonable time, not the fastest possible, because speedrunners zipping around all over the map and glitching through walls will tell you anything is faster if it's possible. Coming to 2030 Pixel Rift streams, A to Z Dark Souls weapons. Yeah. Looking forward to that playthrough when I'm 45 or whatever. I'm sure somebody's already done an A to Z with Dark Souls weapons. There are at least 2 other people, 40 Enjoy and R Kirby, here on Twitch, who are playing through with every weapon. And they're further along than I am, probably because they started earlier, but also because they are much better at the game. But I think Kirby is doing it in, like, New Game Plus 300 and something, so... Spent a ton of time exploring between beating Margott and Godric, made it into Leonia, and explored most of it before I actually went to progress the story. Yeah, like, I found a ton of stuff before you were, quote-unquote, meant to. And I missed out on a bunch of quest lines. I didn't do anything with Vare at all because he sounded sleazy and I didn't like him. And then, obviously, now I do Vare's quest every time for obvious reasons to anyone who's played the game. So, it's, yeah, interesting how these things come around, right? Actually, 1 trophy away from Dark Souls 1 Platinum. I need to finish that because I want a Souls tattoo. I'm not going to get one without a Platinum. Interesting. I am completely untattooed, and it's interesting to me what people choose to get tattoos of and tattoos for. So, yeah, that's really cool. Like, I'm excited for you to get that plat. Dang it. I never timed that one right. And I always forget the final hit of Rivers of Blood's combo. It's funny because Barb's Staff Spear had really good attacks for dealing with NPCs. I like this weapon a lot more, but it's not like as one-sided with the NPCs. Okay, that got him. Nice. Problem is, if we take a corpse piler at this point... There we go. Alright. That was the, epic samurai movie. We run at each other at the same time and only one person slumps to the ground. But that is the last of our sacred tier upgrades. We don't really have anything we can use to level more. So, let's go do the fight. The only reason you don't have tattoos is money. That's fair. You definitely don't want to cheap out on one. Oh, what's up, Acrylic? I didn't see that. Welcome in. Welcome into the 19th run of Elden Ring that I have done on stream. Actually, probably the 20th I've done on stream if you count the original co-op run that wasn't part of all of this. Do I know that I can jump a lot of attacks? Yes. Do I know which ones you can jump? Sometimes. Not all the time. It's the same with parrying. Never too many Elden Ring runs. Yeah, ask me again when I'm in the hundreds. Always really poor on the timing for that one. Nice. Okay, we got a stagger, but I don't really know what to do with that right now, so I'm just going to keep charging heavies. And now we heal. Where do you find the weapon I'm using? This one comes from the merchant on Weeping Peninsula. I have had to slightly censor the name for Twitch titles because unfortunately it contains a word Twitch does not allow in stream titles for reasons which should be relatively obvious. Oh no. Ah! Okay, I didn't see that one. Problem with the fire giant being so big is that you can't always see what he's about to do. Got some reasonable audio cues for some of these attacks, though. Okay, there we go. We're on phase 2 at least. The Jon Snow sword, yes. Well, my bad. I stood in the fire. What do you think of Bloody Slash? Switch to Piercing Fang on Nagakiba and I much prefer it. Yeah, I don't really rate Bloody Slash all that much. I think I'm going to go get Alexander for this, because that will increase our chances of getting this run done today. So we need to go up Seedwater River. Yeah, if we can get Alexander as a distraction here, we'll probably finish Fire Giant in a couple of rounds. And yeah, I have nothing to prove as far as beating Fire Giant goes, but yeah, I do want to make sure that I can get through to Farum Azula. I like the fights where you can have NPC summons as an option, because it means going and seeing a couple of other bits of the game. Like this guy. We'll actually be back to fight a lot more of the like Tibia Mariners and other enemies like this, because Beast Claw Great Hammer is coming up, and that's one of the weapons that you have to get from the Deathroot Collection quest for Beast Clergyman. So we'll have a little bit of fun with that one and have a bunch of optional bosses to take down. Dragons and giants when you lock off and you start praying, yeah. Yeah, with Fire Giant, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. He's easy enough to hit, obviously, if you don't lock onto him, but it's about finding the right zones. In Phase 1 especially, like that leg he's got is just intended to be the weak spot. But it's the fact that he rolls around that's not the ideal circumstance for unlocking targeting. Alright, we're out of that. We're out of the fire swamp. If you're going to fight Fire Giant a couple of hundred times, you might as well make it a little easier on yourself here and there. Yeah. And Alexander doesn't do a whole lot in the way of damage. He's just a helpful distraction and sometimes gets the extra poise damage off. Thanks, I didn't need that blood anyway. Although I think that was Torrent that took the hit and not me, so apologies to Torrent. Also, shout out to the Magma Worm.
Ah, I hardly think I've been taken. I won't be half so as an old above the...
Okay, we now have the jar and a good reason to leave. Gonna crouch by this arteria leaf until the bad music goes away. There we go. Alright, back to Church of Repose. Although that's not the closest grace we have now. Welcome back, Otter. Still only have these two for the Wondrous Physic as well. I think we might be able to do better if we got the Dex not tier for a little extra damage. Or something like that, but... either way, not too worried about that. Now we have Alexander as a summon. King Clawblazer, thanks so much for gifting a sub. Very kind of you. Spending that tattoo money on me, I appreciate it. Okay, since we summon Alexander, we can't ride Torrent, but... hopefully we should be alright. Should probably wait to drink the flask until we get slightly closer to him, shouldn't I? Wasting precious seconds of strength boost. How is it I'm so much better at dodging that when I'm not on the horse? Was I one-handing this weapon now? Yeah. I thought I was doing more damage last time. Alexander, you good? Oh no. I think I had iframes from the attack somehow. That wore off quite quickly. Oh, there we go. We found a good zone. That second phase. Nice and easy. Oh look, my runes are there. I wonder why. Standing in the middle of an inferno. Whoa! Alexander spins out of the way. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Ow. See, this is what happens when I don't lock on, is that I can't see when he's about to slam me. Oh! Oh, I'm not on the right side of him. Never mind. We'll attack the wrists. Oh, okay. Oh gosh, the bleed. Oh, the bleed is so good. Alexander is getting tempered. Like he wanted. Yeah, having additional targets for those fireballs is also quite nice. No, we were so close. We were so close, and he happened to target me and not Alexander with that last one. That sucks. It's fine. We'll get him on the next one. We had him on the ropes, it's just that the ropes were on fire, so... Yeah, we got a little bit fried there. I ain't worried. Oh. I keep forgetting that OK is the default option. Is his stomach his face? Yes. Technically not his face, but that's lore. We're not getting into that now. God, that was a strong potion, wasn't it? I hate it. I actually hate it. That one was hubris. Got flattened. He did a big steppy, and then I died. We'll recover from that one. We'll bounce back. No, 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 no. Give me the boy. I need the boy. Squish for a change, yep. Quite early in the fight, too, which was unfortunate. I think it's mostly because I chose to drink the flask when I was on the walk up, and then he did this. Which I could have avoided if I wasn't drinking at the time. What I get for drinking, I suppose, especially considering it's got a half heal in it, so I could actually have healed from drinking afterwards, even if I took damage. Yeah, that's right, come over here. The thing I've got to remember to do here is keep stamina. so that I can roll away from attacks like that. No, come back here. Oh, now he's up on the rock. Very unfair. Cruel and unusual. Yeah! He only planted a few fires. Oh, Alexander has like a fire-based attack, which is pretty funny against Fire Giant, but... Okay, there's no way we're getting away from that, considering he's right up against the barrier, so... Alexander's going to take him into phase 2. Probably, in a second. If he doesn't get toasted first. Alright, maybe he will. Maybe it's my job. There we go. We did it. You missed me. Nice, good dodges. Feels good when we hit the dodges. Okay, we're aiming for the bleed here, because the bleed will probably finish him off. But I don't know how much bleed he'll still have built up. Especially considering he's just rolling over me now. And I keep missing with the bloody slash, so let's not worry about that now. Nice. Oh, the stagger. Yes, yes, yes. In the eye. To death. The foot is his weakness. Had to do that, otherwise I would have died probably. Oh no, he's on the final pixel of health. It's never going to happen this way. Alexander, get him. Alexander, my boy. Okay, I think Alexander did get him. Ridiculous. Heck yeah. Flint! And KG. Oh my gosh, the entire Elden Ring squad is showing up. Heck yeah. Welcome in, folks. Thank you so much for the GGs. We had a little bit of help with this one, but Jon Snow is still a work in progress. Oh, speaking of which, we probably want to put points into Arcane. Speaking of which, before we do anything else, we have a couple of optional fights to do. Are we still getting points out of strength? Yeah, we are. Let's throw one in for good measure. So we need to go to Albinoric Village and get the Erdtree medallion, just so we can go and do the Knights Cavalry fight and get some good clothes for our John. Flynn with the tier 1. Thank you to 40 Thieves for the 26 as well. Really appreciate it, dude. Welcome in. Welcome to the Pixels. Enjoy your sub badge and your emotes. John Sword, he knows very little. Yeah. So this is my 19th playthrough of Elden Ring and the Elden Ring A-Z, where we're beating the game with every weapon in alphabetical order. We are on a sword that Twitch does not allow me to name in the title. This is the Bastard Sword. We also have the Bastard Stars coming up as well, so both of these runs are dedicated to the Egyptian god Bast, because that's the only way I can get it to work in the stream title with any kind of reasonable doubt. Before we completely change the state of the world by burning the Erdtree, I do need to go and see if Nefeli is around. We don't need to do Nefeli's whole quest thing, but yeah, here we go.
Oh, well, I witnessed the oppression of our waking. Put under the justice to let the scar.
Okay. Let's go get the medallion. And then we'll get the second half of the medallion. We don't even need to do the stuff at Round Table Hold. We can just go to Castle Sol. Just in case that guy causes trouble.
Please, no. Dear me.
This is Maester Pycelle, isn't it?
No secrets lie with me, not a one. Oh, please leave me be. Wait. Well. Oh,
Please close your mouth when you're like, he's just coughing all over you. That's so triggering after 2020.
A chosen lamb. The medallion?
Anyway, nothing bad happens to this guy after that, so let's go to Castle Sol. I wasn't able to stay in Grady's stream long enough to see if he actually beat Castle Sol the other day, but I know he was getting a hard time from O'Neill. Or Niall, whichever one this is. Hate Castle Sol so much. In general, it's not too bad. The fight is kind of a pain. And the knights with two swords are just really rough enemies. You know, on my first playthrough, I never encountered the Tibia Mariner at Windham Ruins. Like, the Erdtree Gazing Hill area, I just completely bypassed. And so when all of the skeletons started coming out of the ground here, I had absolutely no idea how to stop it. And I had no idea that there was a Tibia Mariner just, like, over there somewhere. Which is pretty funny. I was just like, I don't know, this is a thing that happens in the mountaintops. It's the mountaintops of the giants. These are some of the giants, surely. He beat him? Nice. Oh man, I'm excited for Grady to find out what's going on with the medallion if he gets that far. We're also going to ignore the Deathbird because screw the Deathbirds. Guy with the red eyes and two swords somewhere in the castle kicks your butt every time. Yeah, it's fortunate that he's not really on the way to anything too important. The dead wrong bird, yes. so we must go in here. We must ignore the lions. Even though they will try their best not to be ignored. I also realized I was fighting Fire Giant with a sword that I have not upgraded past plus 13. Yeah, maybe we should have upgraded the sword before I fought Fire Giant. Maybe we'll do it before we fight Commander Niall. Because this sword is kind of underpowered for where I'm at. That might be why we needed Alexander. On second thoughts, I should maybe have been doing a little more damage. So once we get this grace, I think I'll go back to the round table hold. There's the whole thing, like, the whole reason I came to mountaintops like that was that I wanted to get the bell bearing right, like, super early. And then I just forgot all about that. No, he's in the room. He's in the room. I can't rest at the grace. Yeah, I'll just get killed here. It's fine. We waste a rune arc, but when have we ever needed those? Your dog injured his hip somehow, but now he keeps whining at us for attention, though he feels fine. I mean, it may be that he just learned that's a way to get attention. But hopefully he's okay. Anyway, let's go back to round table hold so we can at least upgrade a few more times. And I guess we do have to do this fight, but you know. It's not the worst fight to do. Peace. He's a Goldie, they're drama queens. There. Clinging bone. Yeah, we don't really want any of that. So we're at plus 13 now. We want 2 more and then 6 more. And then for these we need 7 more. And then we make sure we have enough runes to do the upgrades, which 10k should be fine, but we'll see. It is quite expensive to upgrade this sword. We still haven't spoken to Roderica this round.
No. Oh, don't pay me. Just
Hugh has got to no, so we're pretty far along in the story. Okay, now we have 2 smithing stones, 7, so we can get the next upgrade if we have slightly more runes.
Back already, no matter.
Okay, 400 more. Actually, like 420 more or something, which is absurd, but that's fine.
No matter.
There we go. Plus 19 is better. That's where we should have been before we fought Fire Giant. Might be. So let's go back to Castle Sol and try fighting Commander Niall. Roderick will become a spirit tuner regardless. Oh, interesting. Did not realize. I think maybe that's happened before, but okay, we're on our last rune arc, so I'm not going to use one for this fight yet. Maybe if it feels like it'll make the difference, but then rune arc hubris is a thing, so at least Niall is vulnerable to bleed, unlike these guys. Okay, 1 down. Heal for the other guy. And try to get in his aggro so that Niall backs off a little bit. Nice. Should keep him off balance. Okay, they comboed me. They comboed me. They teamed up. Most ambitious crossover event. Oh, I forgot I wasn't two-handing as well. That's hilarious. Alright, now you're in for it. Cooked. Absolutely cooked, bro. Gotta wait for him to do his supercharged attack, which will probably be back now. Oh, maybe not. Quick heal. Go on. Get into the middle of the arena and do it. Okay, I'll take this. He always follows up with that afterwards. Come on. Alright, I got full health. What have you got? Looks can be deceiving. Your punish window is after he does the second attack there. Not here, but there. And for whatever reason, he does that backswing, but he never hits you with it. I'm still waiting for him to do his, like, really heavy charged storm attack, but maybe he only does that in, like, the first half of his health bar or something. Maybe he's locked out of it now. Or maybe he's just waiting for the opportune moment to crank that soldier boy. What we want is leg sweep. I mostly want him to actually do something instead of just follow me around. I mean, that's not quite what I was after, but he sort of lost aggro for a minute there. Oh, dang it. Okay. That's fair. I messed up the timing on that one. Here we go. This is what I want. Ow. Okay, yeah, that one I ran out of stamina, so... That's fair. Come on, do the big charge up. We haven't seen it this whole fight. We're not going to get it. Alright. Shame, but we We nailed it. Let's get a quick level up and clean all the blood off of us. We want probably 1 in strength, just so we can get that up to a natural 60. Especially now the Great Rune has worn off. Yeah, not bad. Niall's a systematic fight. He doesn't leave you many openings, but there's a couple that you can get in. Only way I can beat Niall is by dropping Dung Eater on him. Yeah. Well, that's one way. Alright, we may not have the right, but we do have the left. Let's go back to the lift. And 1 Knight's Cavalry fight later, we should be good. Honestly, that fight would have been a lot harder if I hadn't remembered to upgrade my sword, so I'm quite happy we did that. This is going to be a minor diversion, a minor cosmetic diversion. So we can take the black and join the Night's Watch. Just did that the wrong way, didn't I? Forgot the secret medallion, not the regular medallion, the secret medallion. There we go. So, once again, we're on the path of ignore everything. Not that medallion, the other medallion, yes. Ultra rare, hidden, secret, invisible medallion. Oh, you know it, Ginger. What's the chest piece? This is the Raptor's Black Feathers, which you get from the Sage's Cave on Altus Plateau. If you haven't found the Sage's Cave, I encourage you to look for it yourself. But, yeah, this thing is really just a cloak with a fun tabard, not tabard, jerkin, whatever you'd call it. Nobody clip me saying jerkin, please. Yeah, the coat that he has underneath it is pretty basic looking, but you're seeing your character from the back most of the time anyway, so. Don't clip it. This is a mature rated game. It's okay. I'm allowed to say words like that. I think actually let's use the rune arc now, because we have to do most of Farum Azula anyway, and it's not going to be so essential to have the rune arc for this fight, but it'll give us a little bit more pizzazz. You'll keep a lookout? Yeah, that's it's a little bit out of the way. Like, it's in an area that it doesn't really seem like there is a whole lot going on, so it can be an easy one to miss, I feel, but yeah, it's out there somewhere. Problem with the snowfield is I cannot remember the layout because it looks like this. So I will... Oh god, the duelists. I forgot about the duelists. I think I'll just head back towards the lights because I think those at least take you down to the flat, like, plains area where the... Oh god, the archers are here as well. Yeah, I think the carriage is, like, driving through here somewhere. And in the meantime, we get spectral dragonkin soldiers. Well, that's what I get for using a rune arc, isn't it? That's what I get for using a rune arc. I hate this place. This is not fun. It's not fun being unable to see anything. It's where atmospheric just becomes, like, unnecessary. And the place is just full of things that will kill me, so, I mean, why bother? I think it'll be easier to spot where things are if we just go and get the map. Which seems obvious, but, I mean, the map is, like, up here. And you sort of see the road. But then I think we can turn back and see where the carriage is from there, so... Almost died. Almost killed Torrent in that fall. There's our second grace. I think actually the carriage is like around here. I was heading west a little too early. Yeah, because then the view clears up and you can see the procession like back here. Yes, there we go. Okay. Well, now we've got that grace. Let's not worry about the map because we won't need to be back here. We just need to kill the Knight's Cavalry. And for that to happen, it needs to be nighttime, which it's not right now. Wasn't there an item somewhere that would lift the snow if we have it? I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be, I guess. There's just a couple of ways in which it would be slightly more convenient, that's all. There also isn't a ton of detail put into some of these areas. There they are. So let's lure them away one at a time. We've done this before, because I'm pretty sure we did this for Ancient Meteoric Ore Greatswords, was the one where we did the Knight's Cavalry outfit. Yeah, that was me just forgetting to heal. Yes, advantages in this economy. A little bit cleft there. I forget every time you die at night it resets to day as well. That's the annoying thing about fighting night bosses. Maybe we start with the other guy first and do the glaive guy second. Just got to steer clear of the lightning bolts. What's up, idiot? Oh, the pages are annoying as well. Get me away from them. Ouch, okay, he hits hard. Getting into the really irritating part of the snowfields, so let's not do that. I honestly think I might be better at fighting him on foot. We can Draconic Tree Sentinel this man. Slower at fighting him on foot, though. And that one I had no stamina for. Rough. Okay, I came out better from that. Problem is his friend might be catching up in a second. Ow. That one missed. Nice. So we get the crit at least. Cool. Now for the other guy. Is there anything interesting and noteworthy? We have fought a lot of guys. We are almost at Farum Azula. I just gotta obtain an outfit from these guys. Is the current goal. Try not to get cleft with a glaive. Or beaten up by Dragonkin soldiers. Easier said than done right now. Yeah, I'm just gonna wait for them to disperse. Great. So we gotta do that part again. That's why I hate the snowfields, dude. And let's remember to heal again. Or not to heal, to pass the time. Yeah, bless him. John needs a beating. Well, we're beyond the wall now, so I mean... This is where he learns all of his valuable lessons, right? I think we'll start with the guy on the other side first, just so we don't quite hit the range where Dragonkin soldiers start to make an irritation of themselves. Yeah, if I could lock on to the right guy, that'd be great too. Useless heal. Okay, we got a bleed on that guy at least. He moves so slow when he's not on the horse. It's kind of incredible, actually. Okay, now we'll lure the other one back up the slope if we can, just so we're not going to get attacked by spectral dragonkin. I might take out the pages too, just because they're annoying. just so this guy doesn't, like, crossbow me in the middle of this fight. Okay. Now let's see if we can take on the other guy. Grady! You've been here, you might actually be able to watch. Hey, what's up? I heard you took down Commander Niall in the end. I was sad I was not there for it. Yeah, the problem here is this guy hits the horse a little harder. Dang it. Bloody Slash is not doing well for me, I feel. Okay, a couple of good hits in there. The trick is to take down the horse, because then the rider is a lot easier to handle after that. You basically get a free crit on him. Okay, the horse is taking some hefty hits. Come on, dude. Alright, not bad. We'll get him after this. Yes. Excellent. Okay, now just don't take damage before you heal. Okay, great. The horse is nearly dead, so we'll get this hit in. Yeah, I think his AI freaked out because he was too far away from his patrol zone there. Finally. Absolutely covered in blood. Jon Snow can take the black. And we got a smithing stone from that. That's nice. Niall was such a slog. Yeah. It's not a fun fight if you're a melee fighter, especially. Like, you've really got to find the openings, and he does not leave you many. Oh, cool. Okay, we're getting doubles from Arcane Investment now. That's nice. Okay, so the question is, do we want to go Raven, Cloak, or do we want to go Knights Cavalry? And then Knights Cavalry Greaves is a massive upgrade. Knights Cavalry Gauntlets also feels good. So is it this, or is it that? Because this is definitely like the Crow Cloak. But I feel like the clothing underneath, the undershirt and stuff, doesn't quite work for me. I feel like... Does this feel more Jon Snow? It feels darker, which helps. I think that's it. Yeah, anyway, let's go to the bit of the game Grady probably hasn't seen yet. So, sorry about that. I also want to... Let me go back to Roundtable and let me actually buy some Rune Arcs. Needs more in the collar? Yeah. Helps that we've done virtually nothing quest-wise at Roundtable, so everyone is still kind of where they were. Oh, we can buy the last one as well. Okay, perfect. Oh, there's a talisman pouch here? When did I... Oh, I remember. Yeah. So I should really figure out my talismans, huh? Because I'm wearing, like, one that's useful and then the rest are garbage. We could have done with the fire negation from the fire giant fight. I've just not done any of this at all. I'm new to this game. So let's at least go get the Axe Talisman, because I might as well. Turtle, yeah, Turtle is it too. Like, I don't know why I'm not thinking about this stuff. And we also missed the fake Morgott, so we don't get the extra stamina from that, but that's fine. I think we go in with Erdtree's Favor +2 for the last stretch after Farum. If you see any spoilers, that's on you. I mean, fair. I trust you to keep yourself spoiler-free in a stream where we will potentially finish the game today if I play right. So that's helpful. I've not really been to Summon Water Village, but I can just ride the Spirit Springs up. And then, yeah, the other question is, once we are done with bosses that are vulnerable to bleed, I assume we just go with a heavy infusion and focus strength, but, like, are there any Ashes of War that would be really good? I think maybe we go with a heavy infusion and just use Stamp Upward Cut again for the Poise Break. But is there anything that comes out faster that could be useful against the last couple of bosses? Possibly. We'll see. Shout out to Turtles. It does look like proper John now, which is great. Shout out to more turtles. So that's going to help us with stamina. Yeah. All right. I think that's at least a reasonable loadout for now. And as is now traditional, while the next cutscene plays, I'm going to take a bathroom break. So once again, this is going to be a pretty spoiler-heavy section, so might want to look away until the cutscene is over. Bouncy ball number 2, yeah. I don't think I've ever fallen off of that, but it always feels like you could just fall off at any time, and that worries me. Oh, there's a man running with a big hammer. We do love the big hammer. Okay, folks, are you prepared to commit?
I have long this world and death. Are you prepared to commit? Very well.
Let's do it.
Let my hand.
All right. Back in a sec, folks.
O Erdtree, you shall burn, return for the sake of the new Lord. Thank you for guiding me here.
You're welcome. I'm back, by the way. Hello.
The one who walks alongside flame.
Thank you to whoever lit up the background
Shall
with
one
the
day meet
appropriate
the
color.
road of destined death. Goodbye.
Not a Roman candle, it's a Mel candle, yeah. By the way, did somebody come in earlier and say we shouldn't be celebrating Christmas? What was that about? Did anybody pay any attention to that? It just happened while I was fighting Fire Giant. I was like, I'm pretty sure chat's going to deal with this. Yeah. Same, Dan. I was like, what? Apparently, like... Absurd behavior in 2024. Almost in 2025, and let's not take that stuff into 2025. Anyway, we're in Farum Azula now. Let's kick some butt. Let's go kick Godskin Duo's respective asses. First, of course, we will be getting a handful of smithing stones that we can't use yet. A handful of golden runes that we definitely can. And encountering a bunch of beasts who I'm fairly certain won't be too bad when fought with a sword that deals bleed damage. But I've been wrong about things before. Okay. I won the jump off, apparently. This guy didn't even see me coming. He was like, what? Oh, the only thing about the Knight's Cavalry setup that is different from Raptor's Black Feathers is it doesn't increase my jump attack power. So... this doesn't give me anything that... I mean, it gives me more physical defense, which is kind of nice, actually. But, like... yeah, I should keep that in mind, that... I'm not going to get as much... out of jump attacks. Unless I change that back. He was sulking because he was putting time out. Oh, somebody timed him out. Okay, yeah, that's fair. So, a few more smithing stones later. We make a beeline for Godskin Duo. We could have a slightly more upgraded sword if we'd gone and done the Falling Star Beast fights, but... I don't want to. Not the Christmas dude. Oh, the guy who didn't see me coming? Oh, that's... yeah. To be fair, the Christmas dude probably deserves a timeout as well, so who knows. What's this, by the way? Oh, okay. I feel like I never picked that one up. But right now I have more smithing stone 8s than 7s, so we won't worry about that. To the corner with them. Okay, that guy cut my frames in half, as well as my back. This is when I like them, when they're like approaching with the half-jar shield and they're just kind of slowly making their way downtown. I can deal with them when they're like that. A couple of bits of Beastman came with me there. What's that about? No! Come on. They've greased the edge of that, I'm pretty sure. they've just rubbed soap on the edge of that to make it extra slippery. I thought the jump in Dark Souls 2 was bad. At least my runes were nice and easy. So that's what the greases are for, yes. They've coated this entire thing in dragon wound grease. Somebody's thrown an oil pot at that specific space. We'll rest here, jump down the stairs. The usual. I swear at this point the game is playing fast and loose with the heights that deal full damage to you. Take no prisoners. I was considering, by the way, I mentioned it early on in the first stream, I was considering doing a bunch of detouring to get all of the upgrade materials so that we could go into some of these final boss fights using the wolf summons. But honestly, I would rather just see if we can get this playthrough out of the way and end 2024 by becoming the Elden Lord. I don't know if I have time to get all of the upgrade mats and stuff. It means doing a lot of the underground. Absolutely impaled. I don't know what I expected. The Pokemon strat of having a level 100 Pokemon for a level 30 fight, something like that. Except, honestly, level 10 wolves would probably just be, like, normal at this point. They might not do a whole bunch. But wolves are one of those ones which is, you have them by default. So, I mean, not by default, but you get them with the Spirit Calling Bell. And the FP cost is low enough that basically every class can summon them, because every class starts with some FP. I'm going to back off for a second just so I can heal. Thank you. Okay, turns out I need to treat this fight a little more seriously. What's going wrong here? Not a whole lot, I don't think. I think I just need to concentrate on fighting one of them at a time. Ideally Apostle, but you know. still, like... Gotta not be leaving ways this guy can 3-shot me. I think at this point I really need to be doing something else with my Wondrous Physic as well, because it's giving me a handful of strength that I don't really need at this point. And I feel like if I'm... if I'm not quite getting enough physical damage, or I want to do more staggers, I guess like enhancing the stagger could help. Okay, I'm amazed he didn't hit me with that, considering how many jump attacks I'm doing. Okay, let's see if we can get Noble stuck on something. Okay, cool. So I can do this. Unfortunately, it looks like Banal is having a hard time. And I rolled that really badly. Okay, he just healed. That's fine. Okay, so Banal just took down Apostle, which is great work from Banal. And now I'm just getting dizzy. Okay, great. Apostle's going to be back in a second. Either that or the game's going to spawn Noble again. Completely missed the range on that one, if not the timing. Oh, Banal, come on. Okay, and keep attacking, because we deal extra damage while they're despawning. Great. Nice. Yeah, the problem is that attack having a forward lunge along with it. Nice. Getting the bleed was pretty clutch. Please don't just kill me now. Nice. Okay. Oh, right. That was unnecessarily difficult. So, it's funny how a little bit of the blood still clings. Now we have Dragon Temple Altar. Let's go back to the round table, get our last few upgrades. While we've got the runes. And then let's fix our Wondrous Physic. So we need 9, I guess? Because we've done the first upgrade, but we need more. And then this we need 7. Great. Yeah. That should do. And then we got the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone from the Knight's Cavalry, so we can upgrade all the way already. Huge.
I lay out your up.
Nice. Okay, we now have a level 25 sword that shall not be named. The scaling is still a little bit all over the place, but we're getting 2 points from a dex investment. I think we'll switch to heavy after this. The Voldemort sword, yeah, something like that. Alright, let's get through the rest of this. I should think we'll be okay against Beast Clergyman, but you never know. Oh, they didn't grease up this one, so we're good. We're not going to go for Alexander right now. We might do later. But I think having this one down here is also going to be kind of helpful. Maybe we'll finally swap out the gold scarab talisman for this. And then I think Erdtree's favor perhaps for the axe talisman once we get back to the capital. I think maybe that's the play. I also need to make sure I'm two-handing, because there's no point in not two-handing now. We're in, lads. Just going to rest here. I'm also, because I'm just not using skills, going to give myself another health flask. Oh, thanks for the belated smithing stone there. I don't care that the lightning is striking all around me. I hit a bird! I get a feeling that switching to heavy scaling is going to result in a lot more raw damage output, which is good because this thing is underwhelming right now, but it's underwhelming, I think, because it has bleed. Bleed is supposed to make up for the relative lack of raw damage. Come on, you. Our final winged foe lies yonder. Oh, we're just going to get flamethrowered now. Cool. That wasn't too painful after all. I always like it when that dragon leaves me with enough health flasks that if anything goes wrong with the beastmen up here, I can try and heal. Okay, cool. A charged heavy and then a light follow-up is enough. And then the acrobatics begin. Cirque du Soleil, Beastman edition. Alright, we're here. Give or take this guy. Who's gonna play nice today. I think that sword he's using is the one that we're going to have to farm and do a New Game Plus run for, because there's only a couple of enemies in Farum Azula that you can reasonably farm it from. I think that's the way it works. So, where are we with levels? 119. Don't really have enough runes that we can reasonably level up. I think maybe after we kill the Draconic Sentinel up here, I just go and spend the rest of my budget on Merchant Rune Arcs. Bellum Church. What will be the first New Game Plus run? I think that's going to be it. It's going to be, it's not Beastman's curved sword, but it's like Beastman Cleaver or something like that. It's, one of the Beastman weapons, and I forget exactly what the name of it is. Okay. Mistimed that one. And that one. Okay. Oh, okay. We're at the epicenter of that, and I'm glad that I managed to get that one right. Unhorsed! Oh, do we actually get to... Yeah, we get to level up. I wasn't sure how many runes that guy was going to give me without the gold scarab, but we made it. Yeah, so Beastman Curved Sword is probably going to be the one, because I think Beastman's Cleaver occurs first alphabetically, and I know it's going to be the second one. But as long as we get one of each on the first run, then we can do a New Game Plus with the second. I'm going to put some points into Vigor, I think. Because 40 Vigor is alright for endgame, but 60 would be better. 60 might be better. Okay, Beast Clergyman time. Maybe we go and get some better Wondrous Physic ingredients, yeah? Because I think Dexterity will give us extra attack, and that's literally out in the open in Liurnia. It's really not difficult to get. We don't really have much that's going to help with... We don't have like an element on the sword. We have Bleed. And there's a... I think there's a tier that does help with Bleed, but I think it's in the DLC. So... Unless we go with the stance breaking tier, and I forget how you... I think that might be one of the ones you get from an Erdtree avatar somewhere. I think it might be the Far East Caelid one. Which is, to be fair, a decent investment, I think, because this is a great sword, and great swords do a lot of poise damage. So getting staggers with it would be ideal. I don't really know what else we put on this outside of that. So let's see if we can fight this putrid avatar real quick. This is not the worst, but it can be a little bit irritating. And then we'll have a better damage increase for the weapon. And we'll have the option of the stance breaking tier as well. There's also the 2 tiers that give you better damage resistance, so there's an option for those, I suppose. I'm dead. Yeah, I was gonna take Scarlet Rot damage as soon as I got up. So yeah, see, this is my problem with this guy, is that he deals a lot of damage, and then you gotta deal with the Scarlet Rot nonsense. We will manage though. And obviously there are trees, so they don't bleed. Despite appearances, because this one looks like it's absolutely covered in blood. That's what I was hoping for the first time around, was an easy stagger. And now some healing space. Oh, almost. Just had to keep spamming roll there for a second. God, the rot does so much extra damage, it's kind of wild. That'll do, though. Oh, that gets us both of those ones. Okay, great, because Opaline Hard Tier is the other one that I was talking about, the one that gets us a bit of extra damage resistance. Which, yeah, won't hurt. I think we might also have enough runes that we can level up again, yeah. Okay, well, we'll put another one into Vigor, because evidently right now I need it. And then, while I'm still at the Grace, we'll swap this for Dex Knot, and we'll swap this for Stone Barb. Now I'm thinking I should have got the Stone Barb tier for Barbara Ann the last time around, just because of the Barb connection. One mini Ginger, thanks so much for the 19 months. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Tempted that guy a few weeks ago, level 61, had to retreat. The rot's just too much. It's a lot, yeah. You need either really high rot resistance or a decent vigor score, ideally. Okay, well, let's tempt fate by going into Maliketh with a rune arc active and see how well we get on. At least he's vulnerable to bleed.
Thou who approacheth destined death, I will not have it stolen from me.
Oh, good. That's going to deal damage on the way down. Yep. Where's he gone? Peekaboo. Okay, we're trading a little bit now. Chance to heal. Is that, by any chance, an Italian cold steel Cinquedea? I didn't need to see it up close. Okay, we got a huge bleed at the start of phase 2. But I need to heal, so... Now we're going to take a little bit of health drain. And we're back. Okay, great. Okay, we're getting hit by all of that. Yeah, rough. The pillar was in my way right there, and I got hit by too many of the first couple of hits to be able to position right for the follow-up. Oh, gosh. Okay, that seemed pretty reasonable, though. I reckon we can tackle this. We might be better off with Morgott's Great Rune at this point, because I don't think the rest of the stat investment is doing much for me. And we get a percentage of our health, which would be better. Is that Orbulon? Shout out to Orbulon. Maliketh was there when I first joined a Pix Elden Ring stream. Yeah, we find ourselves fighting Maliketh a lot, it turns out. Oh, we didn't need that. I thought that was going to be a Great Rune. Or a Golden Rune. So considering I invested all that thought in whether or not we should use the stagger tier, I did not get a stagger in this fight. And mostly I'm just whiffing all my attacks now, so that's a concern. Ouch. Yeah, I can't get enough consistently aggressive hits on him to get the staggers when I want them. At least we got that attack in. There we go. That's the stuff. And he's not going to let me get it because I'm on the wrong side of his head. Unfortunate, but we'll take what opportunities we have and also heal when I can. You know, with that one, I forgot what his follow-up was. I thought he was just going to backflip and I'd be fine. Turns out if he front flips, you die. Yeah, unlucky that time. I think we got it, though. I'm also... It's a coin flip how Gideon Ofnir goes at this point, because... We didn't have the best time against Okina, but Gideon is pretty vulnerable to bleed. It's not going to be as easy as Barbed Staff Spear was, but then Barbed Staff Spear was awful for the last few bosses, so... We'll see how we end up. Where's that pocket sand going? Directly into my face that time. Definitely need to heal after that. What? Come on. Those rocks were in the foreground. Needed to heal after that. Alright, we got a little cheap one at the end there. What remains to be seen is, do we get the bleed or the stagger? Neither right now. That's the attack pattern that I like. Okay, we're on the edge of that one, that's fine. Now I need to heal again. Just ate that one for no reason. Man, I gotta stop healing at exactly the wrong time. Hey, what's up, Kev? Happy New Year to you. Thanks for stopping in. Hope you're having a great start to 2025. Know what the shortest run has been? It's one of the ones we've done recently, and I think it was potentially another greatsword or something? Or was it Backhand Blade? I think Backhand Blade might have been it. Because that was a speed run to the DLC, and then the weapon just absolutely shredded the last few bosses. So I think it might have been Backhand Blade. Having a great New Year so far. Excellent. And now you're here. So hopefully it gets even better. Oh, I can't believe he hit me with that. He never hits with that one. I think I might be healing a little too early as well, but some of his attacks do enough damage that it worries me if they get a direct hit. Or he, like, combos into something big. Yeah, like this. Okay, we got a nice jump hit in there. I mistimed that one badly. Kev, thank you for the 19 months. Okay, cool. We got a bleed on that one, I think. And now Maliketh whiffed the first attack. Yeah, right at the center of that one. Still draining. Okay, at least we're as healed as we can be. Healed way too early on that one as well. Jump follow up. Okay, I got my health back. Okay, just the backflip out of that one. Okay, this should be alright. As long as I don't die from this. Okay, easy. Nice. Oh, big bleed at the end for 600 damage. See if we get some extra runes. Nice. Alright, we'll watch the cutscene for this one just in case it's good thumbnail material. Gonna stick around for another 10 minutes, then go celebrate with friends? No worries. Good luck with the end of the run. Thank you very much. Enjoy your new year. And Minjao the Cat, thank you so much for the best wishes for 2025. Same to you. Really wish the Cinque Deer had more going for it. It looks so cool. I think because it's a dagger, it's like more crit focused, right? Jon Snow has really taken the black now. Consumed by dragon fire.
The rune of death is unbound.
Alright, that'll be plenty, I think. Calamity, really. Oh my god. Okay, we're back for the last little stretch. A few runes to spend, and then let's go in and see how we do against his nibs. Although we should now be able to get this. We're almost at 125, which is a good threshold to be at for the end of the game. And I think we'll go back from here and we'll try and get the Erdtree's Favor and swap that for the Axe Talisman, because I'm not going to get too many charged heavies in from this point onwards. So we'll do that. I think, honestly, rest of our setup's fine. Having a little extra damage resistance is good. Especially against Godfrey. We'll have plenty of chances to do jump attacks. Stamina recovery speed is useful, and then just a little extra health and everything is going to be ideal, nay vital. Depending on how we do in the next couple of bosses, we might get out of here today. Despite the fact that it is New Year, I don't have any plans to go out, so it's not like I've really got anywhere to be. Might go and pick up a bottle of wine from any of the supermarkets or off licenses that's still open. Excuse me, sir. Various people whom I have no quarrel with. Or with whom I have no quarrel. Maybe. Whichever is grammatically superior. Grammar's all made up anyway. Gonna back roll onto the elevator when it arrives. Bye. Who are all these statues meant to be anyway? Really wish there was a way you could feasibly drop down here to skip all of the sneaking around, but I don't think there is, so let's not risk it. Which armor set? This is the Knight's Cavalry armor, which you get from defeating the 2 Knight's Cavalry in the Consecrated Snowfield. Earlier on we were rocking the Raptor's Black Feathers because it looks a bit more Jon Snow, but we wanted to take the black, but we had to go beyond the wall to do it. Trying to avoid aggroing this guy. And ignore the fact that there's another one. And there's probably a third in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. We got what we needed. Little stealth mission. Little stealthy mish. So that gets us 700-ish more HP. Well, not 700. 70 more HP. 700 would be absurd. And some extra stamina and equip load. Not that we need the equip load, but the stamina is nice. We could even, if we wanted to, put on a helmet. Now we look a bit more like Paul Atreides. Now all my hair is going out the back. But all of these are wearable with the equip load we currently have. Let's go, John. We're also now at the health threshold where we don't heal up all the way if we have a great rune. Needs a haircut, yeah. All this hippie hair he's got coming out the back. There's a rune arc here that I didn't get. I ran past it in my haste. And you can't ride your horse here. There we go. Just so we get that one for free. The only other thing we might need to deviate slightly for is if we want to respec more thoroughly. I haven't done Rhea Lucaria, so we'd have to go and beat Renala to ditch all of the investment I put into Arcane. But I think, honestly, just a strength investment wouldn't be too bad. Just a heavy affinity.
I knew you'd come to stand before the Elden Ring, to become Elden Lord. It's a sad state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the throne. Queen Marika has high hopes for us. that we continue. I know.
Okay. Gideon went well.
The tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you
Didn't even get to heal this time.
cannot kill a god.
Thanks for the runes. So we're still getting points from Dex. Honestly, the Arcane is probably worth keeping around just for the Holy Resistance increase. Even if it doesn't directly affect the scaling of our weapon if we change the infusion. Yeah, that feels good. Let's go back to Claw Talisman. Going into the Godfrey fight thinking, oh sure, I'll keep the gold scarab on. Nope. We'll see how we do with stance breaks in Godfrey as well. If I was to respec at this point, I would put the Arcane into Faith, go and grab a seal and get the damage buff incantations, get Golden Vow and Flame Grant Me Strength, but I don't think we need it. I think we'll do pretty well against Godfrey and Hoarah, and then we'll see against the other two. Haven't played Elden Ring for so long, we'll play again this year. We're also getting Elden Ring Night Rain this year, so hopefully some people will have fun playing that. I'm going to skip the cutscene for this one, because we've done a fair bit of Godfrey lately, so... Okay, we got the bloody slash off. Surprised. None of my jump attacks have hit, though. Come on. Momentum, lad. Yes. Okay, that bodes well for Hoarah. I don't know if he'll take the extra damage when we... No, okay. We didn't get the extra hit in there, but... Kind of got womboed there, but that's fine. I'll take the heal here. Oh, dang it. Okay, we didn't get the second hit. One more heal. Oh, he got me. I was really hoping I could heal and still dodge that. Dang it, again? Come on. Every time I get an opening to heal, he's already on me. Okay, now is my only opening to heal, really. Alright, we'll see if we pull this off, but I have no heals left, so... gotta choose my moments and actually capitalize instead of whatever just happened there. Okay, I get one more hit. And it's good.
Tarnished.
Oh.
Thy strength befits sacred.
Alright, one try, not too bad. We got a little bloody, but honestly the helmet might have saved me there in terms of like physical damage resist. I don't mind it. Okay, well we'll maybe crack into Dex investment a little bit more. But maybe we can also invest strength, because at this point we want to change the sword's Ash of War. And I'm wondering what it needs to be. Because Wild Strikes gets us a ton of extra physical damage. Like right now, that's an increase of about 80, I'd say. Wild Strikes feels like it'd do a lot. And we just go with heavy affinity, because I'm not going to use the Ash of War all that much. But then let's see what we get in terms of more... Yeah, we get a couple of extra ticks of damage in strength investment that way. And then we'll use the Remembrance. And then I might go and buy a couple of Rune Arcs with the remaining currency I have. Okay, that gets us an additional 4 damage. Heavy scaling is something else, man, I'm telling you. Let's quickly go back to Bellum Church so we can buy a few more Rune Arcs from the merchant nearby. And then we're heading in for the final bosses. So far this has been not quite the shortest run I've done, but we're still under 6 hours, which is pretty cool. Also, I kind of wonder if Wild Strikes will deal a lot to Elden Beast if we... get the opportunity.
I don't want any all done?
And it's like a really low FP investment, so I feel like that could be potentially kind of punishing. But for that, we'd really want Shard of Alexander to maximize the damage instead of the jump attacks. So maybe we go back to Farum and we do that. Because that's not a huge detour from where we're at here. Thank you for the GGs, by the way. And thank you to all of you for sticking around for this stream. It's very lovely to have company. Let's see how this does in terms of damage now. Okay, it's pretty hefty. It's got some heft. We obviously don't have the bleed anymore. Yeah, that really looks like it's going to crumble away when you jump onto it, but then so does everything in Farum Azula, so let's not worry about that. Yeah, two-shotting these guys is nice. I'll take it. I'll take it if we can do that. We have enough stone swords for this. Better than that other great sword. Yeah, the problem with the Banished Knight's great sword is that I didn't end up infusing it, and I think that was my problem. I didn't change the scaling on it at all. I sort of left it with the default. And I think part of the problem with that is that it doesn't take full advantage of your stat investment, which means it's not living up to the weapon's fullest potential. So that's something I need to remember about basic swords like this. Is that really the whole point is to infuse it so that you can change how the weapon scales. Because all of the somber weapons are going to have locked-in scaling, so you build for the weapon that way, whereas the default scaling on some of these weapons is not necessarily going to be the most worthwhile. That's what I'm learning.
Ah, the city, that aside. I doubt there's, of course. Which mean, would you kindly come and tell me when I've been long...
Get your pot friends ready in chat.
Let us begin.
I am the great Jar Warrior.
Rip to a real one, dude.
My thanks. I knew you were the stuff of champions. It was a marvelous battle. I implore you, take what I bequeath from inside me. All vessels are destined to one day break. But the great Alexander lived as a warrior to his last.
Rip. So now at least we can have Shard of Alexander as an option and really buff that skill. I think we'll maybe swap it for Claw Talisman when we fight Elden Beast, so we'll just go like that, and that'll be it. I think jump attacks are going to be better against Radagon. We won't have many windows for Wild Strikes. Once more into the breach, dear friends. A nice simple flask at the entryway this time around. We'll watch the cutscenes. Yeah, the buff routine could be a lot more here if we wanted to invest in Faith instead of Arcane. I'm actually looking forward to the maybe one time in this entire project when we'll get to the Jarberg stuff. Maybe next year? I don't know about that. Maybe 2026. It occurred to me that I might be able to get a Wild Strikes in right at the beginning before he actually starts attacking, but I'm just going to save it all for Elden Beast. Save the whole FP bar for Elden Beast. Here we go, let's do this. Okay, whiff the first attack, not the best. Nice. I'll take the stagger. It hurts to not have bleed at this point, but... Another stagger, very nice. Okay, at this point we're going to get the hammer attack, yep. got hit by the arms. We'll heal after that one. Well, aside from getting hit by that one attack, that was more or less a flawless Radagon. So let's swap our Shard of Alexander and get ready to Wild Strikes. We'll skip the Elden Beast scene this time too, so we can just get right into it. Dang it. Could definitely have got more value out of that, but I don't mind it too much. Every time I see waves of gold now, I'm like, there's no way I'm getting on the horse for this. Carving chunks off, dude. Wild Strikes is great. This time it's rings. Yep. Just gonna heal up because we've got the flasks. We might as well. This is what I should have done with the Banished Knight's Sword, is put a skill like this on it. Heavy infusion. And swung for the fences every time. This will be 3 rings. Oh, it's not. Ah. Just going in for a big old swing that's not going to hit me. Three rings this time? Nope, we're over it, apparently. It's like, oh, I haven't done this one. Oh, now it's going. Okay. I was curious. But my friends, it looks like we are Elden Ringing in 2025 with an emphatic victory over the Elden Beasts. Becoming the Elden Lord, Jon Snow, man of the hour. With that bastard sword firmly in hand. That's how the Banished Knight's Sword playthrough should have gone. 100%. Well, that was a completion in 5 hours, 35 minutes, one of our fastest. Among the sub-6s, so I'm very happy about that. Yeah, we'll top up our health. And mend the Elden Ring. Jon Snow, Elden Lord. Taking the Iron Throne as he should. We win these. We win these. So next up is actually going to be a really fun weapon. I'm looking forward to the first run of 2025 being the Bastard Stars. A flail. We get to do Rani's quest up until the Astel boss fight, so we may as well finish Rani's quest and get the Age of Stars ending. But then, yeah, like a flail is not a weapon that I'm typically used to using. I gather the skill for this one is pretty fun. 3-hour run next? Not for this, no. Not having to do Rani's quest. It's so far off the critical path. Finally nabbed Elden Ring for yourself. Glad you went on. So glad it went on sale this month. Nice. Enjoy. Hope you have a great time with it. It is a hell of a game.
The fallen leaves.
As you can tell, as I prepare to start my 20th playthrough. But yeah, it's going to be an index build for the first. Maybe not the first time, but one of the first times.
Lord. In our home, across the fog. The lands between.
I think we're going to start with the flail from Gatefront Ruins as well, just to get used to the flail moveset, you know?
Upon us and recall an age of fracture.
Oh, poor John. This is what everybody wanted to see at the end of Game of Thrones, right? Well, my friends, thank you so much for enjoying Elden Ring with me into 2025. We're only 5 hours away from the new year here in the UK, so this felt like a fantastic way to end it. 2024 has been a year. It's been definitely one of the years ever. But I'm so happy that we started this challenge. It's been so much fun to throw this in there along with the Minecraft streams. Jon Snow as our final character of 2024, and 19 runs under our belt, many more to come in the new year. Here's our equipment, just for anybody who wants to see the sword in all its glory. I think honestly a pretty solid loadout for the speed with which it had to come together at the end of the game here. Young vagabond Jon Snow has made good. And that is where we're going to wrap up this run. Once again, 5 hours 39 on the clock. Looking forward to the next one. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But for now, folks, that is where we're going to wrap things up. I'll send you over to somebody else who's streaming here on Twitch. I know a couple of them were in here earlier. I'm not sure if any of them are going to be live now or if they have other New Year's plans. Oh, I tell you what, let's go and raid the Hot Dish. Dish is streaming at a time when I can actually raid in. You know we're doing that. Yeah, Dish is playing Skyrim today. So we'll go raid the Hot Dish. Everyone wish Dish a happy new year and enjoy a Skyrim playthrough in which she has stolen the sweet roll. Thanks so much for being with me for the last little bit, and looking forward to seeing you all in 2025. Have a fantastic new year. We'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye for now.